All right. Hey, good day, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Ricky Frank, long time no see. Nice to see you. Paulo's here. Hello, Aaron. Hello, Scott. Hello, Tamara. Welcome, everybody. Just so y'all know, as we get going, you can unmute yourselves anytime. The session is going to be pretty organic and free flowing. I've got a handful of pre-asked questions, which I'll start out with, and then we can just kind of popcorn style ask all of you what questions you have, what support you need. Essentially, we've scheduled this time to just come together. So I'm going to press the record button. Oh, no, we are already recording. Well, that was easy. Yeah, so today is ultimately opportunity to come together as a community, and when we're brainstorming ideas here, it's not just me who's doing the coaching. This is an invitation for all of us. If anybody has feedback or ideas or anything that you can contribute to a conversation or somebody's challenges. I mean, we are a global community of teachers from all over the world. We've all been, many of us have been working online, building courses, teaching workshops, all that sort of stuff for quite a long time. And so it's really what we can contribute together. Of course, I'm very opinionated, so I'm sure I'll have opinions about everything that we're talking about today. But I'm grateful you all made the time today. This is, living through crazy times right now. None of us have ever experienced the space that we're traveling through right now, planet Earth. And I am definitely holding my intentions that whatever's happening to humanity right now, that the transformation be for our highest good, and that each of us here who's showing up right now clearly has something that we can offer our communities, whether our communities are big or whether our communities are just a small group of people that need our support right now. It doesn't really matter the numbers. The fact that we're showing up and that we're opening ourselves to offer our services and to contribute in a good way is what it's really all about right now. I've been working online for 15 years full time. This has been my gig for a long time. I've done a lot of businesses. I've created a lot of ideas and stuff. So there's quite a bit of experience there. And I would say specifically this last 2 to 3 weeks, there has never been a better time to be offering value on the internet. Everybody's sitting at home and you can only get so much Netflix into your system before you overload, which means people are going to be coming to learn and connect and share stories and download other information aside from COVID-19. So hopefully, my intentions for the next hour and 15 minutes is hopefully to contribute as much value to all of you. And hopefully when one person is asking for support or asking a question, that ultimately, however the answers come through, that answer can benefit all of you and open up new ideas and new pathways for you. And so again, for those of you just joining, it's going to be pretty organic. I want to work through as many of the questions that are here as we possibly can. After I ask the first 4 that have been asked before we started here, then we'll just do popcorn style. I'll open it up and basically it'll be a race to raise your finger if you want to have your question answered. So that's the name of the game. Thanks for showing up, everybody. Haven't done one of these. Usually the mastermind stuff is just to our small group of people that are a part of that edge of the world inside of the MAJIK media community. And it's nice to see so many people. And Zed Show, howdy, another Salt Springer just showed up to the party. That's lovely. So I'm going to jump into the questions that I have here and then open it up. So question 1 is Jane. Jane, are you here right now? No, Jane. Oh, Jane, you are here. Okay, perfect. So this one comes to you. So you can unmute yourself if you want. And your question is, do you have suggestions about presenting e-courses for families? I'm thinking that I want to present to kids, but I know the parents or other caring adults are the gatekeepers, and the adults who would likely be drawn to the material are those who may limit digital media for their kids. Your courses have to do with sharing the magic of nature and herbalism with kids, so with quests and stories on the way to help kids develop a strong relationship with nature and especially the world of plants. So I definitely have experience in this arena. We have a 3.5-year-old. We definitely limit his screen time to a very minimal. He's actually just off of 7 days of no screen time for throwing some temper tantrums. So we took it away, and he's been like an angel the last 5 days. It's been amazing. And basically our rule is he only watches educational stuff. It's got to be teaching him stuff. You know, we've done the entertainment route, and there's always a meltdown when it's time to shut it off. So that's definitely the protocol for us. I worked with youth all over the world from 2007 to 2009 after releasing a viral video. And ultimately, you have to cater, regardless of the gatekeepers, you have to cater your content to the kids. If parents see good content for the kids, they're going to let their kids watch it. There's one of the things that we let Soren, our son, watch is Cosmic Kids Yoga on YouTube. You might want to check it out. She's doing a brilliant job of just teaching kids yoga in an interactive way through storytelling. And it's so much fun. And, you know, we see Soren, he can do a 20, 30-minute yoga practice where he's just following along and listening to these stories. And it's really, really special. So I think for what you're doing, you're totally on the right track of creating quests or treasure hunts in the forest where they're going out and searching for different magical elements, whether it's a specific kind of tree or specific kind of mushroom or whatever it might be, that you're giving them a list of things to go out and do. And then if you have a community space, anybody with a community space, like one of the biggest things for engagement is getting people to come back to share what they discovered or what they learned as they were doing it. So is all of that speaking to where you're already thinking you're going to go with it?
Absolutely. Yeah. So that was really good to hear your perspective and have that Cosmic Kids Yoga, because it'd be great to see what people are doing that speaks to you, because I have a feeling you're the folks that I'm considering marketing to are probably, similar to what you think about me.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, I mean, for us right now, we're going out and we're searching for Erskine the elf, which is this elf on Salt Spring Island. So we go looking for fairy doors all the time. Just the other day, I convinced him to hike a mountain because there's a fairy door at the top of the mountain, and we're going to go leave presents for Erskine to see if he'd come out and say hello. And it's like doing that sort of stuff, creating games is definitely what it's all about. There's another really cool game, a board game for kids called Wildcraft. Is it Wildcraft? Yeah, Wildcraft, that we just got for Christmas. And Soren at like 3.5 is so into it. He just wants to sit around the table and play this board game about collecting herbs for like an hour at a time. It's really amazing how it holds his attention span, and it's teaching him all about herbalism, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's a great game. So yeah.
So do you have just, while the spotlight's on you, do you have one or two ideas that you want to share of first offerings you think you're going to try as like a beta test?
Yeah, I want to do it small, but I have been teaching herbal camps for kids for a number of years and putting story elements in with that. So doing a sort of online version of where the trees have secrets for you, and then there's different things that, nature skills that you learn as you go out that are the trees telling you how to do things, and then finding the treasures, that kind of thing. So yeah.
Fun. And do you have you done much like video production yet? Is that a new skill, or is that something you're familiar with?
Well, I'm learning fast because
nice.
I have a part-time job as a nature instructor, and that's what we have to do right now. So
sweet. I just bought the new iPhone 11 Pro Max, and a year ago I never would have recommended anybody ever create paid offerings on the internet with a phone, but these new phones are ridiculous. Like it's replaced my $3,000 Sony camera. It's so good, and you can buy, like, these phones are now $0 down. So you just go, like, switch in your old phone, you get a $0 phone that has a professional recording capacity. And then I bought it's the Rode Mic Go. It's a little kit. The Rode mics, lapel mics, are like tiny, so you can carry them in your pocket. They're so little. And the quality is amazing. They're $350 for this little setup. And yeah, Rode Mic Go. That's right, Frederick. And it's $350 Canadian. So for you Americans, that's like $10 or something like that, I think. So it's like next to nothing. And you just need to make sure you get the adapter, because these silly new phones with their little adapter thing doesn't work. So there's an adapter that you have to use from the Rode mic to your phone adapter to make it all work. If somebody reminds me in the thread below, I'll post exactly what you need to get to go with your phone to have high quality audio and video with the new smartphones. And if you're not an iPhone person, I mean, any of the new phones, the Huawei, the Google Pixel, all of the newest phones that just came out this year all have these epic 4K cameras that you can create movie quality videos on your phone. And what I love, because I don't do the editing when I'm going out and doing stuff, is while I'm shooting, I don't have a memory card. I'm literally, every clip I like, I'm uploading it straight to a Google Drive folder in the order that I want my editor to edit stuff. And then I just send them an email at the end with instructions. And it's made life so easy. So that would definitely be a recommendation, is start playing. And yeah, it's pretty cool what you can do with a phone these days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great. Thank you. And thanks for the recommendation about the mic too. That's something I'd forgotten that would be a thing to have around anyway. So
if you have good quality audio, I mean, it makes everything 10 times better. And then the other thing is for stock music, there's a really great site, Epidemic Sound. We have a subscription with them. It's $15 a month and you get unlimited music. So if you plan to make a bunch of videos and you need music, you can search music by mood and theme. And there's also tons of sound effects in there, which, I mean, if you're making magical videos and bringing people into that, sound effects can help. Yeah. I would, just recommend binge watching some vlogs on YouTube that are produced specifically for kids, and just watch how they're shooting them and try and duplicate that. And always go out with a plan, have a shot list. Shot lists are so important, whether you're shooting on a green screen or you're shooting a vlog or whatever. Just like know what your main points you're covering and know some specific shots that you have to get. And if you watch, the most popular vlogs on YouTube and in any different field, they're being shot very creatively with the phones. And another element, especially for shooting out in nature, is getting a gimbal, a stabilizer for the camera. So I just bought the Smooth 4. It's like $129 Canadian on Amazon. And it's amazing what you can do with this gimbal. Like you could run full speed through the forest and it would just be a glide. It's so cool. And there's a lot of interesting features that you can use for it with your phone. So it's, the gimbal Smooth 4, or the Zion Smooth 4 is what I just purchased.
cool.
So like with the Smooth 4 and the newer phones for video and that Rode Mic Go, like $500 for all of that, and you've got a pretty amazing production kit.
Cool. That's really cool. How about for capturing nature sounds with a mic? That I assume that the mic you're talking about is more for speaking, but like how about for dynamic?
It won't capture as much because the lapels are meant to capture right up close. I just purchased what is it? The Rode. Oh, it's a Rode Mini. It's specifically for the cell phones. Again, I can post it in the links because I just bought it a few weeks ago and been playing around with it a bunch. That'd probably be better. More of like a shotgun mic will help you pick it up if you're looking to use your phone. And at the same time, if you're not getting the nature sounds, Epidemic Sound, there's so many nature sounds, you could just add them in.
Awesome. Okay, that's great. Thank you. Yeah, that's great.
And Ricky asks, can I stream using my phone? Yes, you can stream, if you have good connection, you could stream. I mean, you could stream a Zoom call, you could stream Facebook Live, all that sort of stuff you can, for sure. And I mean, you'll get higher quality probably streaming via your phone with the cameras in your phone than you would like the camera in a laptop, unless you're getting the newest MacBook Pros, which probably have a little bit better cameras. But yeah, you can, these things right here are pretty magical for online creators. And then, yeah, just like editing software. And if, the editing game it's a whole other game. And that's why knowing your shot list is really important, because that means exactly what you're going out to get. And I mean, what we've learned over the years is pre-production is 70% of the work. Planning your lesson, planning your locations, planning what shots you need to get. And if you have those plans, even if it's not like fully detailed and clear and you haven't like drawn storyboards and stuff, you don't have to do that. But just having an idea of what you need to capture is going to save you so much time, specifically in post-production. Because if you know exactly what you need to get, then you get it. You upload that to your, your folder, and then you go edit just that little segment that you needed to get. So that's definitely a recommendation there.
Fantastic. Yeah, thank you. That's really good advice.
Cool. Well, glad. Hopefully that saves you years. I wish I would have listened to that advice years ago. We would have saved a lot of time.
Yeah. Wish I had this like 3 days ago when I started recording some video for the nature thing. It's like, oh, and I learned half your lessons there. Thank you.
Yeah. And then for editing, I mean, there's so many good editing software out there. Really, like if you're not using green screen, there's a lot of stuff you can use that it's pretty easy. And I mean, if you're using green screen, definitely go through our green screen MAJIK course in the membership, because it's going to teach you how to edit. But yeah, if you're not YouTube, like learning editing, just like start with whatever video you have, and YouTube whatever the question is that you have on, like, how do I add music? How do I fade in? How do I, cut? And in an hour or 2 hours of patience, you'll have it figured out and you'll know the system.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, when you get your first video up, post in the community. We'd love to take a look.
Okay, fantastic. I will. Yeah.
Deal. Okay, Scott, you are next. So please slice and dice pricing alternatives for 2 versions of the same short courses inside a free to join Mighty Network, leadershiponline.com.au. A version with coaching equals premium, and the other without coaching is the cheapie. Market spread prices for leadership coaching are $200 to $500 Australian dollar per hour. So video conference version is middle to low range. My question is about how to differentiate and at the same time present both versions is great value, worth more than the price. Good question. I'm actually just working on a whole article. I'm reflecting on all of the business models I've ever done over the years, and there's been so many for all the things that I've done, as well as other business models that I haven't done, just to like show people that there's no one way to do online courses. There's no one way to run a membership site or our businesses. I mean, there's a ton of different ways that you can do this. And so to answer your question with what you're going with of having a free network and then a paid course and then a paid course with the option for more coaching. Question for you, is the coaching group coaching or is it one-on-one coaching?
Both.
Both. Okay, cool. I mean, one simple way to do it is similar to how we've had our network set up is you have the courses, say $200 for the course. And then when people go inside the course and when they register for the course, in your, featured inside of like the micro community of that particular course. And we're talking Mighty Networks for everybody that may not be on Mighty Networks. So inside of that course community section, have a featured post that is promoting the coaching, and say, we'll just call it a mastermind for simplicity's sake. And then have those pricing packages there. And then for the group coaching, I would say position that more as a group. So you have the course inside of your Mighty Network, and then people can pay for this group. So if the course is $200, then maybe the group, the smaller group with group coaching might be a couple $100 a month, or whatever pricing you're going to go with there. And one of the benefits of having the group set up is that you have a micro community, that they have each other as well as you. And that's going to help a lot. Like our Magic Mind group inside of our community it's amazing. It's so cool to see how people are supporting each other, and how it's been 4 years that we've been building this group, who every 2 weeks we do 2-hour Zoom calls just like this. And to see how they're supporting each other, and they know each other's businesses, and we've all been going through a lot of growth together. So having that it's a special, valuable feature for people to join. And then also inside of that group, you can have a call to get personal coaching from you. And then once you set up the systems, through Zapier, you can set up automations quite easily, that when you see somebody has joined your course, you can have invitations to join the group, the paid group, as well as invitations to join the private coaching. Is that good advice for you, or do you want to go deeper?
No, that's a start. Thank you, Brad. The structure for us includes a bigger group. The alumni is about 1,200, and they're mostly clinicians. So they're from medical officers to allied health professionals, and the Mighty Network is at the moment about 220. So there's a big active group. If we put on a live event, which we're not doing this year,
yeah,
we'd get 100 people in the room, and
yeah.
They climb all over each other like a box of puppies. They're just so happy to be together. The fact that they're not alone, and the connections that they have in the room. I mean, people fly 2,000 kilometers to be there. And so it's a huge, energetic, noisy, raucous, really fun.
Yeah.
So to translate that, which is once a year and really special, into something that's always available online a little bit at a time. So from last October to now, we've got 220. I'd like that to be 1,000 by the end of this year. So they're not big numbers in the community.
Yeah.
And the separate price that you're talking about, I hadn't thought of having the group being separate to the course, because I want the community to be helping the new participants.
Yep.
So we're kind of opening that up to them. So I'm still trying to figure out, how do I sell the tickets to the new participants to do stuff online and have the community there to help them for free?
Yep.
They're two separate places inside a Mighty Network. That's kind of what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, no, it's a good question. One of the things that we do inside of, say, the Great E-Course Adventure, which is going to be switching up, is everybody does a progress log. So right now, when you go into the Great E-Course Adventure, or Adventure Log is what we call them in that one, essentially it's one thread for each participant in that course. And definitely go into the Great E-Course Adventure, and we're done this call, and watch our Adventure Log post in our Start Here section of that course. And basically it's like you keep an ongoing journal that we encourage people to enter into at least once a week, updating your progress on what are you learning, what is your mission this week, etc. But we're going through a bunch of restructuring in the coming weeks, which you'll all hear about next week, And those adventure logs are going to be a part of the main community so that everybody's gleaming value from everybody's transformational journey and updating their progress. And so for you, having an adventure log that is based on the curriculum, whether it's in your course or the main community, having a reason for people to keep posting their process in a main part will serve the whole. But also for people that are paying more money, having a private place where you can have, even if it's like simply the schedule of upcoming group coaching calls and the videos from the past coaching calls that they can log into. But, you know, it's up to you as the facilitator of the community to give people a reason to keep coming back to the main central communication space, which would be your main network. And if people are posting progress logs of some sort on how they're running their business or whatever the theme is for those progress logs, people that aren't in the private mastermind will probably become more inspired to get into the mastermind because they're going to see how activated and engaged all the people that are a part of that closed container are. And that's only going to benefit everybody. It's going to add value to the conversations that are happening. It's going to inspire people that might be less engaged to get more engaged. It could be a good thing.
Thank you. There's can I extend this with one more question? There's something we do once a week, which is putting up what we call a real leadership story. So we'll Zoom interview a practitioner or an alumni just to share an experience for, you know, good and bad experiences, but to get to the point of something that they've learned, a bit like your adventure log. You know, this is what happened and this is what I've learned.
Yeah.
Hearing those experiences, they're mostly, I think the longest one's 11 minutes. Most of them are about 4 or 5. If they get really big, I cut them in half.
Yeah.
That's been really engaging, but there's kind of a trap for me because I can see, looking at Vimeo, a whole lot of people are coming in and watching those videos because it's public, it's a free, you know, open access. I have not put it in a private space. I'm getting traffic on those videos, but they're not joining.
Right.
So my device was if you join, you'll get notice of, you'll see when things are posted, that sort of gear. So I'm wondering about putting some of those appealing features in a private space and where to put the boundary between what's freely available and what's public.
Yep. Have you gone through our Going Mighty workbook yet? The Going Mighty is the Mighty Network Setup course that we built.
Yes.
There's a little section around pricing inside of that, and what to give away for free and what to charge money for. So I think it's really understanding, like, where is the value inside of the community? It may not necessarily be the content. It might be more the conversations, the people, and the common purpose of why everybody's there. So to watch a video is one thing, but to join a conversation and a group of like-minded people is a completely other thing that helps to ground you into whatever the teachings are. So I think speaking to that a little bit more, also maybe rewatching the ones that you've done and see how clear the call to action is to join the community. Are you really showcasing why joining is such a good idea, why people would want to do that? So the call to action is really clear. I know a lot of us that are doing good work in the world can be a little soft in selling the value of what we're offering people. And so I would say, like, are you really owning the value that people will receive when they join your community? And is that communicated well? And is it communicated clearly so that people will be like, that's exactly what I want? And if it's not, then experiment with a new call to action at the end. Like, really write that script, try it for 3 or 4 episodes, see if your numbers increase a little bit. And then, the other thing that I'll say is, like, our vlogs that we're just starting to get into. Of course, COVID-19 kind of flipped the world upside down and we haven't produced a new one for 2 or 3 weeks, but we're also making all of those episodes podcasts. so that people can also find us via audio on iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify. So it's repurposing for you Vimeo, but for us YouTube vlog videos, and just having them be available as audio only can also help you reach, way more people. Because I know, in the e-learning space, it's changed a lot. It used to be everybody's watching videos, and still videos are, highly consumed, but more and more people are getting on the audio train. And so to have whatever you're doing for the videos also available as audio is only going to increase the odds of people following and finding you. And it's very easy to do. I mean, if you set up a SoundCloud player with the RSS feed, it automatically sends it to Google Play, Spotify, and iTunes automatically every time you upload a new episode. So it's, once the system's in place, it's very, very easy to do.
Thank you. And the call to action stuff is weak. It's not clear.
Great.
So one question.
Good to know.
Well, listening to something like Seth Godin's podcast, he'll use a call to action stuff in the introduction once he's put a hook in, and then at the end, or others that I listen to are in the middle. So for the video stuff that we're talking about with just a few minutes, is there any wisdom on the beginning, the middle, or the end, or is it all of the above?
I mean, if it fits, you can thread it throughout. And if it doesn't fit, then, I mean, if it's only 4 minutes, then just putting it in at the end is a good idea. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's plenty. But if Seth Godin's telling you to do something, I mean, at least try it, see how it works. The man's a bit of a genius. So I would say, like, experiment, rewrite your script today when we get off this call, like rewrite your call to action script and try it for the next 3 or 4 episodes and see how it feels and if anything changes for you. And, rewriting call to actions is always an opportunity for us to just get clear on the value that we're really providing people, which is a good exercise anyways.
I will rewrite the call to action. I might do it later in the day. It's 4 a.m. here.
Oh, right. Well, good morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Let's see here. So I don't know if you all saw, I had somebody write in, and it doesn't look like they're here right now, about licensing. So this one, basically, we released a vlog a few weeks ago about how I've made quite a lot of money from licensing past meditations that I made 7 years ago to apps and companies, etc. That's like, I've had passive income from work I did 7 years ago. Every year that amount of money grows. I'm in negotiations right now with another app that wants to license a bunch of meditation tracks. And so if you already have courses that you've developed and educational content, and especially if it's produced in a really professional way, more than ever right now, especially because people can't gather together for the time being and for who knows how long. I mean, the world may not ever be the same. If you already have content created, then you're probably 100 steps ahead of most of the institutions, organizations, large companies that are all of a sudden having to do everything online, and they have no infrastructure. They have nobody that understands online education, and they're scrambling to figure out, how do we do this? And they're probably producing really terrible courses, content, webinars, etc. And if you already have stuff that is well produced, you're way ahead of the game. And you have an amazing opportunity to reach out to companies and organizations to license what you've created to them, to their staff. And so in the video that you can check out on our YouTube channel or inside of the MAJIK Media community is there's a it talks about non-exclusive versus exclusive licensing. I always try to go non-exclusive, which means I'm simply giving them the rights to use the content or the courses that we've produced, that they can redistribute it to their audience, that they can sell it and make a profit on it. And I can also license it to other companies and organizations. And whereas exclusive would limit who you can license it to, that it would essentially be they get the rights to license it and that's it. And some companies might want that, in which case you charge 5 times more money or whatever it might be. Also with licensing, if they're reselling it, you may have an upfront licensing fee and then profit sharing on top of that. Like there's a lot of different ways, and it's been kind of like scrambling around in the dark for me over the years of negotiating these different licensing deals, because I couldn't find anybody that was in the same situation, specifically licensing meditations to big apps and companies, and also producing custom stuff for them. So it's more of like a case by case scenario of whatever industry you're in and who the app is and how big the app is and how many users they have and what value would you place on the thing that you're selling, how much would you charge for it. For example, a client that we produced a course with last year, she does corporate speaking and she makes $8,000 to $12,000 a day for her corporate speaking, and we produced a 30-day leadership course for her, and she straight out of the gate she licensed it to a massive company that has thousands of employees, and they were distributing the course to all of their employees to go through, and they would do these breakout groups, and we built a mighty network for her course, and they had their own private space inside of the network for this company. But I think it was somewhere between $25,000 and $30,000 that she licensed the course to them for, to give you an idea. I have one company paid me $35,000 to record 12 custom meditation tracks for them, and then they pay me $12,000 a year. And this is all in Canadian, $12,000 a year to maintain the licensing rights for those. So that's like another pricing option. I have some of the apps that host my meditation stuff. We just do a 50-50 profit share. Other ones are paying like $1,500 per track per year that they license them. So there's a lot of ways that you can really capitalize on what you've created. And most of what's being taught out there for online creators like us is you need affiliates, you got to do advertising, and I think there's other ways. And licensing has definitely been the most profitable way for me. It was not something I intentionally got into. It just sort of happened over the years, and every single year I add at least 1 or 2 licensing partners on the roster. And so with your courses, there's people out there, there's companies, there's institutions that are in your line of work that there must be a way to line up. I mean, Jane, take for you, for instance, if you produce really high-level children's nature connection courses, I mean, how many schools out there, how many organizations that do nature connection work could you license that to? And that goes for all of us. I mean, I know we've got Neil in our MAJIK Mind group. He just produced the most epic guitar course I've ever seen. You got to check this out. It's unbelievable what he built. It took him about 2 years. It's called, Pentatonic, the Pentatonic Way. So the Pentatonic Way is it's a way to use the chords. It's a very simple way, but man, his course is unbelievable. So he just launched that like a week ago, after 2 years of building it. And for him, we're like, go to guitar shops, license to guitar store. There's guitar stores, there's guitar chains. People are getting together to play in bands and stuff like that right now. So like, see if you can partner with them, go 50-50. All of those guitar stores have customer email lists. The same goes for guitar schools. I mean, every guitar school right now is closed. and they probably don't have the ability or the resources to build an epic online course library. And so there's an opportunity to license to them so that they can keep teaching the kids. And I mean, with licensing, I mean, you could duplicate your entire platform and just white label it so they can put their logos on it, and you're just the featured teacher inside of it. Like, there's a lot of creative ways to approach companies, and it really ultimately just takes a day of research to just Google search all of the keywords that have to do with your topic, and you just add on the end school, academy, institution, group, and just so it was like guitar schools, guitar academies, and just like create a Google spreadsheet. And you should be able to, if you spent an entire day just researching whatever your topic is and all of the schools and groups and academies and institutions in that field, you should be able to find a list of 100 around the world. And then it's just compiling an email, reaching out to them, giving them some samples, building your credibility, and letting them know that if they need what you have, that you would love to discuss a licensing partnership opportunity, and try to get on a call with them and talk about their needs, and then put together a proposal for them. Try to get as much information as you can before you tell them a price tag. So that's the licensing conversation, which is it's a pretty deep rabbit hole that you can go down, but it doesn't have to be difficult. And there's a lot of places out there. If you already have courses complete, you can get in on that for sure. And it will be a welcome gift to a lot of places. Any questions while we're on licensing before we move forward? All right. Let's see here. I have one more question in the community. Okay. Aaron says, I have recently set up a free community in Mighty Networks and sell a live online birth course, which is a separate private group in the free community. I'm wondering if I should instead create a paid membership for the community and offer it free for a certain number of months for those who take the class. And then after that point, they can switch to a monthly fee to continue in the community. If I make the switch to membership, I will offer a lot more regular content. Thoughts on free versus membership community? I have a lot of thoughts on this topic. So good question. Those of you that have been with MAJIK Media for a while, you'll remember that about 5 months ago, we announced a 6-month experiment to give all of our courses away for free and the community and all that sort of stuff. So we've done that, and I've been doing inventory over the last few weeks here. And essentially so surprise everybody, it didn't work. A freemium model was a good idea in theory, that we would get more people, that we could provide more value, that we could change more lives. It was really great in theory, but when I look at the numbers, there was less conversations. Our community engagement actually went down from when people were paying for all of our courses and our membership. The number of courses that got launched went down, at least that we're aware of. Less people were talking about their progress than before when we had the paid membership. So that was another thing. We didn't have as many people join our paid mastermind to make it a worthwhile shift for us. So that was another. The only win we had is we ended up getting some more client and partnership opportunities, which are, it's one of our most profitable pathways at MAJIK Media, is actually working with leaders to do what they do. So for us, this has been, I've got a big case study coming out on April 1st that you can all read about this whole idea of giving stuff away for free. And for us, the philosophies moving forward is I would so much rather have a small group of people that are fully dedicated and devoted to the thing that we're all here to do together than have a diluted community of people that aren't fully in it and people that are just kind of like wandering in, checking it out, but not actually present. And this was a big lesson for me. You know, we did it with the best of intentions. And when we announced it, it was an experience or an experiment. I'd been thinking about it for years of like, I wonder what would happen if we gave everything away for free. And it was, you know, a little anticlimactic, and that's okay. That's why it was an experiment. I'm glad we tried it. And today it's extremely relevant for me to get to answer this question of like, maybe the free model isn't the best ever. There's a lot of ways to give away free content. For us, all of our courses, like to stay in alignment with the goal of helping as many teachers that need the help as possible. We've uploaded all of our courses to YouTube. They're available right now. We've created playlists in the exact order that they're all available. But it kind of stops at that. And if people want the coaching, if they want the mastermind, if they actually want to go through the courses, download the workbooks, get all of our vlogs and articles and stuff, then they have to pay to join the community. We're still keeping it affordable. I'm 92% sure that as of May 1st, when the switch happens, it's going to be $35 a month. And that's going to include our masterminds that we do, which right now is a separate fee. So it's going to be for $35 a month. We're going to have a community of people that can essentially join the masterminds every 2 weeks. And if the community gets too big, then I'll just do them every week. I enjoy doing this. It's a lot of fun. And you'll have access to all the courses. And it's just simple. It's very, very simple. And so, yeah, the idea of free it's a good concept. I would say offering a free trial is great. Let people get in there, let them see what it's all about. But you can also create YouTube videos. You could also have a blog on your website. You can also have a podcast that speaks to your audience. Like there's a lot of ways to give free value. You could have a free signature webinar that you do twice a month that's free. Like there's a lot of free things that you can do. But if you're trying to build a really solid community of people that are dedicated to the cause and the mission at hand, then I would say charging money for that container that you're creating, because ultimately, like, it requires energy to do what we're doing, to build a mighty network and create value on a weekly basis for the people that are in there. And if somebody's not really dedicated, it's from the perspective of the person who's running the container, it's pretty deflating to see like people not engaging with your creation, with this thing that you're all passionate about. So Aaron, do you have any questions based on everything I just shared there? Because I mean, this is what you're going through in the present moment. You said a lot of useful info. I'm thinking I'll go membership and give free content on blog and YouTube. Cool. And yeah, write it out. You know, it's interesting. You know, we might get. I think based on how I wrote the case study that comes out next week, I spent quite a lot of time thinking about it. And it was really just like 2 weeks ago, when I fully committed to the decision to switch back to a paid model. I thought about it quite a lot, and it was just like the one day I was like, okay, it didn't work. I'm just going to like own that it didn't work. And now I'm going to own what I really want. And an intimate community is way more valuable, and it's way more fulfilling. I mean, we've been brainwashed by online marketers to want things to be big and bigger, but there's so many ways that we can offer value and make an income, and it just takes a little bit of creativity and experimentation.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't have any questions. I stopped making lunch for a second. Trying to focus on both. Yeah, I think that what I've been wanting to do, because I've been doing mostly in person, is to go online. And I think this is ultimately a great opportunity to really ramp that up and to create a community that honestly I'll be a little more dedicated to as well. If it's the membership model, because that will be a large basis of how I'm reaching people and developing community, rather than these in-person classes, which I can't do for I don't know how long.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a worthwhile experiment, and I would say give your experiment a concrete number. For us, it was 6 months of trying the freemium, and May 1st will be our 6-month mark. I've made the decision at the 5-month mark that we're switching back to a membership model. So for you, whether it's 3 months or 4 months or 5 months or 6 months, and when you make the announcement to switch things up, just be really honest, give your honest reasons. It's an opportunity to just really re-communicate the big why and your reasons for creating the space and your intentions behind it, and to identify the people that you want to join you inside of the community. All of that, it's like you've got a great opportunity. And I really try to communicate that as clearly as I could in the message that'll come out next week. So hopefully that's helpful. I wasn't planning on talking about this today, but you're all the first to know what's coming down the pipeline. And Ricky asks, how do you change from a free to a paid Mighty network? Oh my gosh, it's really confusing. I'm going through it right now. I'll make a screen share video if you ask me in about a week from now, because I'm still like getting to the bottom of it. So shoot me a message in the community in like a week after the announcement goes live, because I think I've got it figured out, but I'm not 100% sure. It's a lot of work around the messaging. I mean, this has been my full-time gig for the last couple weeks of like getting all the workbooks done, autoresponders for all of our courses redone so they don't mention prices or freemium, changing the websites, changing the start here pages, changing the sales page. Like, so many things have to be changed as a result of making this shift. It'll be worthwhile in the end, so I'm not complaining about it. But and then the actual Mighty Networks doesn't make it easy because of their arrangement with Apple. It's pretty complicated and weird the way that you have to go about taking your network from free to paid. There's a bunch of things. So I've been working with the Mighty Networks team to show me how do you actually do this so that I don't annoy people or screw the whole thing up. So ask me in a week and I'll do a screen share video of exactly what I did to make it all happen. Would it be easier for some to just start a new network? I don't think so. I think it's easier to do what I'm doing. It's just it's not straightforward and intuitive what you have to do to set up the paid network. The short version is you have to create a new hidden free network inside your Mighty Network. So create a new free network. So you go to like get paid, you create a new plan, you create a free external plan, and you keep that hidden. And then if you want to grandfather or grandmother any people into your new paid community, then you have to send them an invite to that hidden free plan. And then you set up another external plan, which means it makes your Mighty Network, external means your Mighty Network. You set up an external plan that is whatever the price tag for your membership is. And then with that external plan, when you're ready to go live, you switch that on so that it's visible. That then becomes the new plan for your network. And what Mighty Networks will automatically do is it will create an auto-generated free plan under that one. And everybody who's already a part of your network will automatically be added to that auto-generated free plan. And then the moment you deactivate that auto-generated free plan, everybody who was not grandfathered into your hidden free network that you created essentially will be kicked out of your network, and they'll have to pay to get re-entry. So that's that's like the gist of it. I'm sorry for everybody that just got confused. It actually helped. It felt like therapy for me to talk through that out loud. So if anything, that was for my own sanity. Okay, so last one of the community, and then we'll do some popcorn style. And if we need to, I can go till 12:30 today before my next session. So we've got some time. So everybody prepare your questions. And then if you do have some questions, you can all ask in the Zoom chat, and then I can read those and we'll bring you on live. So Beverly, nice to see you. You ask, caught up with being stuck, with wanting to finish your qualifications before beginning your offering. You're in the coaching field and are bringing together many different revolutionary strategies. Well, knowing who you are, Beverly, I have no doubts that that is the truth. And so as far as being stuck, you're stuck as in you don't know how to move forward before getting the qualifications, or tell me about the situation. What's the stuckness? And you're unmuted.
Okay. Well, it's nice to see you again.
Great to see you too. It's so long.
And too long. Yeah, way too long. So yeah, I'm in the coaching field now. It's several years of neural movement, which is working with neuroscience, moving the body and interacting with the brain. Absolutely incredible work. And I'm also finishing my training in integrated body psychotherapy and coaching work, plus my intuitive work and medical intuitive work. So I'm bringing all of those things together. And I've had a lot of training over quite a few years, and just trying to bring it together, package it up, and make an offering. So, one of the first questions is, do you have a recommendation on how many weeks a course should be and how you go about setting that up?
The shortest amount of time to help them get them results and integrate it into their life. I wouldn't say there's a magic formula for how much time it should take. And as far as getting it set up, definitely like the courses that we have, the Going Mighty course will teach you how to build your mighty network. And it's step by step. It teaches you all the tech. It walks you through all of the things you should think about before building a mighty network on the type of community you want to have, setting up your pricing strategy, setting up your engagement strategy of people coming into the community. That's a really great one. Yeah, I would say while you're going through the rest of your certifications, now's the time to just forward think into the business model that you're going to set up, the overall strategy, the marketing strategy, like getting all of those things in place, the brand setting up. You can start, I'm sure you can start creating the courses. Like there's so much work to do. You have, before you're ready to launch, you still probably have several months of work to build the foundation for what you want to create. But it doesn't have to be complicated. I think simplicity is the key on your offerings and how you structure things. Yeah. So as far as like getting it set up, can you get more specific on the question of like which part do you want clarity around to get things set up?
Well, right now I'm doing coaching one-on-one.
Yeah.
And so I have limited time, and I'm just looking at going to more group coaching model.
Nice.
And I want to get an offering out there to get more engagement. I've written a book that's out on Amazon. I've got some other things in terms of creating credibility, but I really want to get a course out to introduce people to my work, because most people have no idea, what I have to offer. So it serves as an introduction, but something really valuable. And then that will bring people into a group coaching model. So that's
Nice.
what I'm looking at. Mm-hmm.
I would say, I mean, if there's one thing I've learned over the years is consistency is the key. So choose a couple modalities, whether it's doing like creating a signature webinar series that you offer, or just a simple webinar that gets people familiar with it, or if it's creating a vlog or a blog, whether it's YouTube with video, or a blog, whether it's on your website or on something like medium.com. Having a way for people to get familiar with you, having a way to just offer it to as many people, when ultimately, like, when you're just getting started on something, not that like you're just getting started, you've been on the path for a long time, developing these skills. But when you're getting started with a new offering, just saying yes to as many opportunities and creating as many ways as you can to share the experience that you can facilitate with people. And if that means, asking small pockets of people that you know of, like, hey, would you like to host this experience for a group of 5 friends? And I'm going to facilitate this for you. And it's $100 for you and your 5 friends to start, or something like that. Like, just making a list of all of the people you know, and just asking, at this stage, the getting discovered is a lot harder, which means you have to do the groundwork of just helping as many people have the experience of working with you as possible, whether those are paid or they're free. Because from there, word of mouth will just simply spread. And, that is the magic of just being able to, especially like person to person, whether it's via Zoom or in person, when we're allowed to go out into public and hug each other again and stuff. But, like, just that person to person thing it's so much more powerful, and it'll build instant trust if you help somebody have an experience that makes them feel better.
Yeah, I totally agree. And right now it's word of mouth, and worldwide, I'm not so much known here, but I have clients throughout the US and Europe right now.
Yeah.
But I just want more volume to create more of a presence with that.
Yeah.
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 So all of those strategies are very helpful.
Yeah. I think, I mean, if you've got your list of people in the US and Europe and all over, I mean, sending out personal emails is another great thing of checking in with them, creating a personal touching connection. Just shoot an email to the people. And I mean, it's crazy times. Now's a good time to reach out to people. And also just let them know what you're doing now. And if they'd be interested in booking you for a session. And you could, depending on your own approach and your relationship with the people, you could have a price included in that email, or just tell them about it. And if they're interested, you could send them more details or send them a link to book a session with you. But I would say a personal touch is reaching out individually to every single person that you have connected. Because, like, for the work you're doing, it's not going to take a lot of people to build enough momentum to keep you busy for a long time.
Yeah, I feel it's really, this is the time where people need this kind of work, and what other people are offering along the same lines. So necessary.
Totally.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And feel free, once you get clear on what your path forward, what your strategy is going to be, post that in the community, because then you can have a bunch of people chime in and we can all brainstorm and continue to refine.
Oh, fantastic.
So that's your homework, is to write out what is your strategy for the next next 2 weeks, the next 3 months, and the next 6 months.
Hmm.
And I would say, for the next 2 weeks, to get your schedule full, is reaching out individually and do that Going Mighty course.
Okay.
It's once you get your account set up in Mighty Networks, if that is the route you decide to go for building your community and your courses and all that sort of stuff, you can binge watch that course and set up your entire network in a day, maybe 2 days, and have all the technical pieces in place and essentially have your own social network for what you do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, I would say go with that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, I got my work cut out for me. Thanks.
You're welcome. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be happy to hear from you.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. So good to see you.
Yeah, great to see you again.
So who here has something you want to work on? You can either post in the chat, or those of you that are on video, raise a finger, bring you on. All right, Ricky Frank, come on down. I'm going to unmute you. You're the next contestant.
Am I on?
Yeah, you're on. Come on down.
I look different. Okay, so I've been spending the last few years learning about the video and sound and all this stuff, and building communities and tweaking Mighty Networks and building online video platforms. And I'm really struggling, partly because my mind just keeps expanding with ideas and possibilities. And I keep thinking, I'm an artist, and I keep thinking of new businesses and new ideas and what if. And I am just struggling to get one small course from start to finish that I can sell. I've got people subscribing to a video library, but it's $100 a year. It's in 87 members. It's not enough.
Yes.
So, I've just been sitting here writing, what is the smallest paid course that I can create next week? I've got to figure out a way to limit myself and simplify.
Yep.
And I'm just struggling. I almost need help to even maybe take a day. What can I create in one day, start to finish, that has paid value to it? That's different from anything else I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm thinking out loud as I'm talking.
Yeah. Well, any of the times that we've created courses, it was to stop. It was basically a solution to clone ourselves. So the things that we were repeating again and again and again for people were the things that motivated us to create a course, so that we didn't have to be a broken record and keep saying the same things. It was like, oh, you have that question, cool, here's our course to go answer that question. So for you, is there any particular topic or question that you get asked a lot, that if you were to create a course, it would provide that solution or that answer, and you wouldn't have to keep repeating yourself? You could just direct people.
So this is a great question, because there are two things. What I'm finding is there are very specific technical things people want, and then there are things that I think they need. And I can show them what they want, but I know it doesn't really help them because they don't know how to use it. They don't know how to think like an artist. They're just stuck with the tutorial, and they can do the tutorial, but it doesn't really help them. So they're going to hit a wall. So I'm stuck trying to figure out, how do I put my spin onto what I know they need with what they think they need? And then it just starts getting too complicated for me. And like today, I'm thinking I just need to do a very simple technical course to solve one problem, and then have part two. And here is the inner part of how to use it. And just totally separate them and try to make it very, very simple.
I love it. I remember, I think it was a year or a year and a half ago, when you joined the Great E-Course Adventure, that was something that was rolling around in your head around creating a course around the mindset and thinking like an artist. And I would say that's a brilliant way to go, is to create that course. That sounds like one you could do in a day, maybe 2 days, maybe a day to map it out and figure out how you want to shoot it and everything like that. But, you know, it's how you live. It's how you approach projects. That sounds like a great course that you could make. Maybe I think it would be valuable.
Maybe if I just do that, I'll get it out of my system.
Yeah. And then the next idea can come.
Well, the next idea, or, you know, because what I find is just people, like my audience wants the technical part.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's not, you know, it's like trying to shove it down their throat.
Yeah.
So I feel like I need to figure out how to make them want it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, a great piece is exactly how you said it, is like, you can know all of the technical pieces, but you're still not going to make art. You have to understand how to think like an artist, how to approach your work like an artist, and how to make art. So I think like that's a powerful sales piece, is a precursor course. You know, you're essentially building the prequel now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
Sounds great. You got a mission.
I do.
Hallelujah. I look forward to seeing your course live in 1 week today.
God, I don't have anything else to do.
No pressure. Yeah, you can't leave the quarantine zone, so why not, right?
But I can make a bad course like that, and that frees me up to do it. Yes, I can do it.
Yeah. Cool. Well, post a link when you get it live. I can't wait to see it. That was easy.
Yeah, for you.
All right. I see Hannah just asked a question here. So I want to know how to engage more with our online community. We have over 200 members, yet not many people are using the platform to its fullest potential. How can I facilitate and nurture our community? I have watched their videos in the section of nurturing the community and the e-course adventure. Okay, so at least 3 things that come up for me. One is, if you have not gone through our Going Mighty workbook, do the Going Mighty workbook. There's a lot of questions in there around community engagement and essentially creating your plan and your code of ethics and your code of conduct. And so that's one thing. 2 is your Start Here section really awesome? Like giving people a tour. Like if you go through our Start Here section, it's something I'm constantly tweaking, and next week I'll be doing another overhaul of the Start Here section to help people get oriented. 3rd is like essentially the first 30 days that somebody joins your network, you should have a really dope autoresponder series that is giving them the best of the best of the best of what you have. And then the 4th thing, which once we shift our network, this has worked tremendously in the past, and we're going to start doing it a lot more, almost monthly, is challenges, community games. So like we're going to be doing almost monthly Get Shit Done games. We used to, like our engagement rates would go up 4 or 5 times their normal rates when we do challenges. And you can give away coaching. You could give away, I mean, we've given away up to $2,500 for one prize in the past, for people to create their courses in 10 weeks. So community challenges, you don't have to give away money, but you could, or you just give away other things. You can get sponsors to donate prizes. I would say like number 1 thing is, let's just come up with an idea right now. What is one challenge, whether it's like a 7-day challenge or a 30-day challenge, that you could give your community that would get those 200 members excited to come and participate? And what's your community about?
We're an online plant medicine integration community.
Okay, cool. Are you working with Julia?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, Julia and I are both on here right now, and part of my work helping and supporting Julia on her project on Afterplant is to start engaging the community, start bringing more community members in, start getting people to post, start getting people to introduce themselves. So Julia has already done an amazing job at like making an introduction video, having auto responding like emails to people that sign up. And right now I'm just looking for tweaks of how to engage people even more in what we're doing.
Got an idea.
So
okay.
Yeah, please.
You go. No, you go. No, you go.
No.
No, this is my problem. I just always want to jump in. You go first. Tell me, let's lay down the full context.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think that starting to do community challenges, like Julie does a great job too of like asking questions every week or so, asking a question of the whole community, or offering on an integration call or things like that. And so, but like an actual challenge that's like a call to action, like this is what the challenge is. If you do it, this is what happens. Let's go.
Yeah.
We could do something that's even more specific than that to really start. I call it like, I want to like go in there and kind of be a jitterbug and just start like getting people to interact.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah. How about, this is just like the first one that popped into my brain. The title, working title, Stories from the Universe. Share your most profound plant medicine experiences.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've got so many that, you know, when we get around a campfire, I get to share some of them. But I mean, for people in your community, that would be the perfect story for like stories from the universe. Share your most profound plant medicine experiences, and then figure out a prize of like, you know, all submissions, you know, here's how you submit. So basically, if you watch our adventure log thing, you could do something similar that people could just post an article in the community. They could post an image from that journey if they have a picture of themselves on that particular ceremony or after that ceremony, or artwork that they created as a result of that ceremony, and just get your community to submit their stories. And then all of a sudden, everybody's going to be coming in to read each other's stories, and the culture is going to get denser and stickier for people.
Yeah, it's juicier. We just want
way
people
juicier.
To get in we want people in there sharing, and that's what the Afterplant is. It's like the fire for our community right now, because it's like the fire circle, because we're all socially distanced. You know, and even before then, you know, it's kind of like these small communities all over the world, and we're trying to create this fire of an online community that we can all come around and share and support and love one another and meet other people that are on a similar journey. Yeah.
Stories are the best.
Cool.
So that's one challenge idea. You know, you could give them 10 days to write I would say like limit the window of like, you know, everybody's on lockdown. So give them 14 days, and you could even let them submit as many stories as they want. You'll need to come up with a loving way to judge their stories, because really you're not judging, you're creating a space for people to share their stories. But maybe whoever gets the most likes or cheers might win a prize or something like that, and then also be featured. But you could figure out what the prize might be. You know, maybe it's like sending them some plant medicine on the black market or something like that. Don't actually do that. That's probably
we don't endorse
right. You don't.
Any of the medicine.
That's right.
We only we only support integration.
Okay, good. Good. So don't do that. Thank you so much. Bad idea. That was a bad idea. Just go with the first part of the idea.
Yeah.
I'd say the two of you, your homework is to come up with at least 10 challenges that you can do over the coming months. Okay. And the thing that makes a challenge successful is you've got a very clear container. What is the thing? So if they're writing their plant medicine stories, is it 750 words? It is 1,000 words. How many words? I would encourage both of you to write your most profound plant medicine stories and see how long they are. You know, what are the stipulations? Like when we've done in the past e-course games is like, we have 10 weeks. You have to update your adventure log once a week during the course of the competition in order to qualify for the cash prize at the end. oh, what else was there? So yeah, there's a clear creative container, how many words, what the topic's about, etc. There's a clear deadline of you must submit your story by X date. There's things that you're looking for the, we'll just say judging, but it's not judging. You can come up with a better word than judging.
I think, I mean, just having people comment on it or something
yeah,
would be a good way.
Yeah,
Just
most likes and comments. Yeah. Yeah, just like getting people in, and maybe as the stories are being featured over that 2-week period, like every few days, send out an email sharing stories, and like, hey, so-and-so submitted this story, check it out. And remember, you still have 10 days to submit your story. So that could really spark some engagement. Okay.
Great.
Yeah. So you know, essentially in your Mighty Network, you'll create a post. And if you go into like our community challenges topics, you can see some of the ways that we've done our announcements for the eCourse games in the past. Yeah, you can just get an idea of like how we do the announcements and all that sort of stuff. But I think this will definitely increase engagement. And when you do it just as a case study, I would love you to write like a short, just like, here's where our engagement was, and then we tried this, and here's what happened. I would just love to personally know how this goes for you.
Sure.
And then consistency. So at the end of the challenge, let people know we'll be making our announcement for our next community challenge in X number of days or weeks. You know, in 3 weeks, we're going to announce the next challenge, sort of thing.
And do it.
And then again, like the first few things that I said, review your Start Here section. Is it clear? Is it easy for somebody that has no idea what a Mighty Network is to come in and be fully integrated with what's available there? If it's not, redo the Start Here videos, redo that. The next is the autoresponders in the first 30 days. Are you giving people the best chance to fully get to know the full intention and what's available in the community? Mm-hmm. Those are two great places to really dive into. I'm redoing all that again, which will go live next week for like the 5 millionth time.
Great. Woohoo. Perfect.
Yay.
Thank you so much.
You got a mission.
Got a mission. Got some directions, some goals.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good luck. Ricky asked, would you do the challenges before or after changing over from free to paid? I mean, for us, we're going to do it after the paid. But for you, I mean, whatever's the most fun. If it feels right, like if you're going to go paid in 2 months from now, then maybe you want to do a challenge now rather than later. Challenges are great for everybody's communities, whatever you're doing. I mean, it could be a meditation challenge. It could be a journaling challenge. It could be, for us, it's like course creation challenges. One that we're going to be doing coming up when we go through the switch in the next month or so is going to be a vlogging challenge to submit a vlog. There's lots of different things that you can do challenges around in your topic, and I highly, highly recommend it. It's guaranteed to increase engagement, especially if you got some sort of juicy prize at the end. But even so in communities, a lot of the time, pride is a great prize. But really, like, having a real thing that they can win is a good motivator. Okay. Anybody else have a question or thing that they want to work on? We've got about 7 minutes to wrap up, and then I've got to jump on another coaching call. Anybody?
I have a question, but it might be on the technical side.
Okay, let's see where we go.
Okay. One of the first courses I did ever using a different platform, Thinkific, was an exam preparation tool.
Yep.
Where, because I'm a coach in this software development or product development framework, that's pretty much the leading one, and the majority has about 90% of the market in terms of Agile. And many of the courses in this framework are depending on a role or so, like product manager, scrum master, things like that.
Yep.
In order to be certified, the people in that role, they have to take a course and then an exam. My tool helps them pass that exam, whichever one it is. It's about 8 of them out there, by giving them something that mimics the real exam plus quizzes, right, to help them prepare for the exam. It gives them a score, gives them the correct answers, things like that. It's interactive. So that's on a different platform, Thinkific, and it is pretty much a website.
Yep.
My question is, it's not really in Thinkific, it's in this quizzing tool, but I can launch it within Thinkific in one of the chapters, or what do you call them?
Modules or whatever.
Something like that. Can I do something similar like that with Mighty Networks?
Yeah, so you could definitely, I've seen a lot of people transfer over from Thinkific. Are you basically the quizzing tool? Are you just embedding it into Thinkific so that it's embedded? So yeah, you can embed code into Mighty Networks for sure. And I would encourage that.
Excuse me, it's not code though, where there's no interaction, it just runs itself within. This is an interactive, what you can interact with it within Thinkific. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've seen, I know Paulo, who's here right now, he put a quiz builder inside of his Mighty Network. I would say, like, before you go all in on Mighty Networks, I would take the bit of code that you have, like set up a free account inside of a Mighty Network, and basically just go create a post in your Mighty Network, like go create an article, and then where is it? Oh, maybe it's, no, you have to do a course. Send me the code. I'll test it on one of our courses. Shoot me an email at bradley@majikmedia.com, and I will try embedding it into one of our courses, and I'll take a screenshot of what I get, and then that'll give you an idea of whether it'll work or not.
Bradley with an L-E-Y?
Yeah, I just posted my email in the chat here.
Could you also point me to the guy who did that, who was doing that?
Paulo, he's right here.
Yeah,
he just came on camera.
Yeah, as far as I know, there's a few different things you can embed in Mighty Networks, but not anything. But anything that comes from certain places, like Typeform is the place I use for that little interactive thing I put on there. So if you go to typeform.com, whatever you can do there, you can put it on Mighty Networks, and it works pretty well.
Okay.
And there's other things too. There's, I think, there's stuff from Google Documents that you can put on there, and other services too.
Okay.
So there's quite a bit you can do.
You have a website where you're doing something like this?
I don't think I have any right now.
Okay. All right, thank you. I'll follow up.
Sounds great.
Typeform, and I'll send you an email. Thanks.
Awesome. Yeah, I look forward to hearing from you, and hopefully I can help.
Okay.
Lovely. Well, I've got, does anybody have a 1-minute question that we can take before we part ways today? Hopefully everybody's got at least 1 to 10 takeaways and action steps to implement into what you're doing. I'm always amazed at, how many people we can get through in an hour and a half. That's always fun. And going once, twice. All right. That's it for today. Thank you so much, everybody. Really appreciate you coming out, and wishing you all the best as we're in our quarantine retreats. Hopefully it's productive and inspiring for all of you, because that is definitely the energy we want to be putting out into the world right now. It's a lot of crazy. Let's not be that. All right. Stay blessed, everybody. Take care.